Hello, everybody. This is a very, very important video that we're making today. Welcome. It's your host, Professor Nez. If you have no idea what's happening down in our southern border, that we are facing a massive immigration, some would even call it an invasion of illegal immigrants entering into our country, pouring in from our southern border. Just look at this video right here, which is one of thousands of viral videos where you see people just literally, quite literally, pouring in to our country. And it's the government's duty, it's the government's responsibility under constitutional law to actually prevent illegal immigration. But not only is the current administration under Joe Biden not doing their constitutional obligation, they're actually suing Texas Governor Greg Abbott and others from preventing themselves from doing their job and doing their duty. And my question to everybody here is, my question to you is, you have to ask yourself, remember how we talk about the rhetorical principles? Remember how we talk about looking at author, purpose, and message. You have to ask yourself, what in the world is going on? Why in the world would Joe Biden and the current administration allow this to happen, which is costing billions of dollars, which is, allowing criminals, drug dealers, terrorists to enter the country willfully, free of charge, no obstruction, no impediment. Preventing, instead of sending the National Guard down there, he's suing the Texas National Guard. This is unprecedented. I've never seen anything like this in all my years. I was born and raised in the United States, and let me be very, very clear. There is nothing wrong with immigration. This country was, I know some of you guys in the comments, well, Nez, this country was founded on the principles of immigration. Immigrants built this country. You're absolutely right. My parents immigrated into this country in the 70s. I was born and raised here. There's nothing wrong with immigration. But look at what my parents had to go through. This is what my parents had to go through when it comes to immigration. They had to go through all of these things. And I don't understand why this isn't being applied right now, although I have some thoughts. I have some theories. So make sure you stick around to the end of this video because you're not going to want to miss this. This is very, very important, and we could be headed towards something that I don't think this country has seen in a very, very long time. No, I'm not using the C word that starts with a C and ends with war. I'm not going to use that. But this is pretty darn close. 24 governors have backed up Governor Greg Abbott of Texas in sending and supporting what Governor Abbott is doing, who's essentially defying the Supreme Court and defying President Joe Biden and the federal government and saying, no, we have the rights under Article 4, Section 4 of the United States Constitution, which says states have the rights that supersedes federal incumbency to protect and defend themselves from any type of illegal immigration or illegal invasion. A lot of people are calling this an invasion. My parents had to go through a visa application. They had to go through documentation, interviews, very rigorous health and character checks. I don't know if you guys remember the Act of 1952, which was it was established, the Immigration and Nationality Act of 1952, which was based on national origins. So they had to go through a quota system, special categories, family reunification, adjustment of status, a work-based immigration. There was a lot of protocol, processes, steps, a lot of bureaucracy, paperwork, as it should be. So I don't want you to think that, Nez, you're doing this video, you're an anti... No. I am pro-immigration. Legal and lawful. Follow the law. Abide by the law. Law and order is the absolute glue to the infrastructure and fabric of our country. If we disregard that, if we ignore that, if we dismiss that, if we weaponize that, guess what? You have anarchy. You have a banana republic. You don't have an actual country anymore. I'm going to share with you, I know that you're concerned a bit about this. I am definitely 1 billion% concerned about this, and I have theories. Again, stick around. I'm going to talk about this in depth, in detail. I'm going to share with you something that is so alarming, so disquieting, unnerving, to say the least. And it is irrefutable that this is an absolute threat to the security of the United States of America. I'm going to share with you a couple of very, very specific, detailed, insightful, thoughtful documents and letters signed by the Federal Bureau of Investigation, written by the FBI and other intelligence agencies, warning the President of the United States, who is allowing this to happen, who is, again, let me remind you, instead of exercising and following through on his promise, his oath to defend this country, he is doing the antithesis of this. He is not doing that. He is, if anything, what he's committing is in direct opposition to his oath. He is suing Governor Greg Abbott, and he is forcing him, giving him an ultimatum. He needs to cut these barbed wires. He needs to stop preventing the invasion, or the immigration, if you would call it, of these illegal aliens, that it needs to continue happening. It's mind-boggling. But check this out. I want you to really, really pay attention. If you're not discomforted by this, I don't know what to tell you, but check this out. This is monumental. Okay, we have 2 letters from Mr. Kevin Brock, who's Assistant Director of Intelligence, FBI, Mr. Chris Swecker, Assistant Director, Criminal Investigative Division, Federal Bureau of Investigation. And they are writing this letter to the government, okay? They're writing this to Chuck Schumer, to the House Speaker, to Homeland Security. This is an amazing, amazing letter. And the subject reads, the United States is facing a new and imminent danger. Talking about what's happening here. I'll leave links to this in the description if you want to check this out. But I want to kind of just in small, I want to just kind of take you to the real brunt of this letter. Okay. In light of such daunting, look at that top paragraph, unprecedented penetration by uninvited foreign actors, it is reasonable to assert that the country possesses dramatically diminished national security at this time. The nation's military and laws and other natural protective barriers that have provided traditional security in the past have been thoroughly circumvented over the past 3 years. This is not me, not conspiracy theory, not crazy online personalities. This is FBI. These are intelligent executives who have worked within our government at the top levels, executorial levels, that are issuing this warning. This is insane. It is stark to say so. Watch this. This is really big. This is really big. Look at this paragraph right here. It is stark to say so, but having a large number of young males now within our borders who could begin attacking gatherings of unarmed citizens in imitation of October 7th at the behest of a foreign terror group must be considered a distinct possibility. We would be remiss not to call out this potentially grave threat in the most direct terms. The warning lights are blinking. Holy macadamia nut. Wow. And yet this very real concern does not seem to be getting the focus it logically deserves. These are the intelligence committees telling us. This is really amazing. It is troubling concern that needs illumination, not avoidance. It gets more and more stark. Listen to this. Look at these last couple of paragraphs. Huge. This new reality, this never seen before threat, deserves greater attention. The borders need to be secured against these young men and those already Those already here illegally must be identified and removed without delay. This will take the coordinated, cooperative efforts of the FBI, Homeland Security, etc., etc. Here's the big part. We encourage these actions and much greater congressional attention to this threat. The country has been invaded. Let me repeat. This is not me. These are executive intelligence officers who have been within our government for decades saying that the country has been invaded, an invasion that will continue as long as the nation's enemies perceive it will be tolerated. Until it is stopped, the United States is extraordinarily less safe and secure knowing all of this. It would be a shameful travesty if some terrible, preventable attack were to occur against innocent Americans or the infrastructure that keeps the nation safe and functioning. So again, I ask you, here's the question. Mr. President, as a patriot, as a citizen, as somebody who loves his country, I ask you, I demand of you, as somebody who is a public servant who works for me and works for us, what are you doing? Explain yourself. Why are you allowing this? Why are you disregarding intelligence officials who are launching a very grave and stark warning that this is, in fact, not legal? It is not the legal means and processes that one would take to become an immigrant and to immigrate into our country, but that this in fact is the exact antithesis to immigration. This is, and I quote, an invasion. Kudos to Greg Abbott and kudos to all the governors who are backing up Greg Abbott. And the ultimatum is literally today. I don't even know what's happening. Let me know in the comments, or I might do a follow-up video to this because Biden has issued an ultimatum that he needs to remove all the barbed wire and any impediments and let the federal officers do their job. And Greg Abbott is defiant in saying that, no, we are protecting our border. We are doing what you refuse to do, Mr. President. This is very, very interesting. Now, I told you if you stuck around this long, I told you why I think this is happening, but I want you to leave a comment and let me know, what do you think of this? Do you agree with these? Look, I'm not the expert. These are experts that are saying this. I'm not saying it's an invasion. The experts are saying it's an invasion. Do you agree? Do you disagree? What are your thoughts? Is this okay? Is it not okay? Why do you think, again, author, purpose, message, audience, why do you think this is happening? Why do you think the President of the United States of America is allowing this to happen? What is the end result? What are the outcomes that they're hoping for? I want to hear from you first, but let me tell you what I think. And it comes down to these 4 huge principles and concepts. Are you ready for this? Okay, here is point number 1. Yale Research did a very in-depth study that actually, came up with the exact amount of immigrants that are pouring into this country. I think the administration said something around 6 million. Yale has said it's actually 22 million. Point number 1. So the numbers are not accurate that are coming out from our government, our administration. Number 2, the Democratic Party, the liberals or the left or whoever you want to call them, or the current administration wants to actually give full, complete voting rights to all illegal, undocumented immigrants. That's 22 million new voters. Point number 3. It is a 90% probability proven within a few percentage points that all first-time voting immigrants vote Democratic. 22 million new voters. Number 4. The 4th point is, with 22 million new voters, any margin of error, imagine 22 million new voters could guarantee you not only the executive branch, but could help you win both the House and the Senate, a full Democratic majority, a full liberal, left-leaning government that will continue with the same policies. And let me remind you, President Biden's approval rating is less than 40%. He has a 59% plus disapproval rating. But with these 22 million new voters, so the reason that Joe Biden is suing Greg Abbott, the reason that he is, aloof and saying, no, this is our country. We let millions and millions of illegal aliens come pouring into our country without any checks, without any red tape, without any bureaucratic governance or oversight involved. We do that all the time. The reason is because they want to secure their power. They want to secure their position. And let me share you one last video I want to share of what the actual hypocrisy is going on here. Listen to Mr. President Obama back in 2008, 2009. Listen to what he said about illegal immigrants. Check this out.
We all agree on the need to better secure the border and to punish employers who choose to hire illegal immigrants. We are a generous and welcoming people here in the United States, but those who enter the country illegally and those who employ them disrespect the rule of law, and they are showing disregard for those who are following the law. We simply cannot allow people to pour into the United States undetected, undocumented, unchecked, and circumventing the line of people who are waiting patiently, diligently, and lawfully to become immigrants in this country.
What happened, Mr. President? What happened, Mr. Biden? What happened? Why did you veer so far off from this premise? I mean, you're not doing that now. What's going on? What's happening here? Why aren't you? This is, again, going back to the previous video that I released about, and if you haven't seen that, I'll leave it in the end credits. I'll leave it in the description of really the truth, the best explanation of what's happened to the Democratic Party, the left. This just confirms it. This is why most sensible people, not the radical left and not the radical right, the sensible people in the middle who are like me, who are just pragmatists, they believe in the Constitution, they love their country, they voted left many, many times in their past. They're kind of coming to their senses and saying, wait a minute, you guys have gone far off the deep left end. You've completely betrayed your values and principles. It's over. I want to pass this off to you. I want to really kind of get your thoughts on this and your opinions. I respond to all the comments. Personally, let me know what you think in the comments down below. What do you think of our border crisis? What do you think of my assessment of why the administration is allowing this to happen, which is a direct refutation and is a direct betrayal of the Constitution of America? I would love to hear from you guys. Let me know in the comments. And again, this channel is not about dividing us. My channel's purpose is to really bring to light and educate and really look at messages, look at what's happening in our world intelligently, with perspective, with thoughtfulness, with a critical eye, with discernment and critical thinking. I'm not the end-all, know-all, but I give my points and I give my thoughts. I want to hear from you too. This is a collaborative effort. I'm not trying to divide. This isn't conspiratorial thinking. I always try to back everything up with quantitative and qualitative research. So I want to hear from you what your thoughts are. Again, if you made it this far, make sure in the pinned comment and the description you sign up for our very free newsletter, which guarantees you will always be in the know of Nez Nation Live and our show with your host, my host, your host, Professor Nez. Make sure you sign up. It's absolutely free. That way you don't miss out on anything. It's a very, very good chance that YouTube is going to delete this channel. Spotify, all the platforms that are run by, really individuals who maybe have their own agendas, let's just say, to put it mildly. So if you become a member of our newsletter, you'll never miss out. And I appreciate you guys. Make sure you check out these videos right here. Subscribe down there. Thank you. God bless America. God bless the United States. God bless you. And I'll see you soon.